Hi guys! Since my last tutorial, I've actually learned quite a lot more about UST making. I kind of jumped in to making my first tutorial when I didn't really know much about UST making. Like, I could make them, but they were still a bit off time, despite what I said in the video and said, oh, I can make them on time now. Not true at all. Because I've missed out some not important. Okay, yeah, they are important, but they're not like vital because I could still make them. But if you want to make them good, I'd listen to what I'm about to say, kind of. Although I did warn this was a badly okay. So basically, I've learnt quite a few things. Oop, closes that. I've learnt quite a few things about UST making that I didn't know the first time around, and I'm just going to basically show you now. First thing is the actual way I set up for making USTs. Turns out you can actually just drag and drop into FL Studio. There's no need to click all the funny buttons I did the first time around. It's really just click and drag, and I'm just sitting here like, oh, I really wish I knew that the first time around, because it would have cut the video down by at least like a minute. So you can just click drag and drop into FL Studio, which makes things a lot easier. The second change is that I no longer tap the BPM. Like before, it was tap 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 and then find whatever tempo it was. No, there's actually a much better way of doing it. And thanks to Shinami, I found this really nice program. Oh, Shinami also drew my gorgeous desktop background. Look how cute. So I downloaded this program called I'm gonna say this wrong, Mixmeister BPM Analyzer. So far I haven't found a song where it can't detect the correct BPM. I will just show you an example quickly. You just simply click on the folder that the song is in, or the songs, that they can do multiple at once. You just click on it, and it will detect the BPM. As you can see, there is there's a difference between. Is this the original? Anyway, there's a difference between the off vocal and the original. The one with vocals in, or the original, is incorrect. It will come up with the incorrect tempo. You need to have the official off vocal, otherwise it'll come up wrong. I know for a fact that the BPM is 195, not just because it says it here, but also for this song I struck lucky and discovered that the BPM was already written in the README. So I didn't even need it for this UST. Whoa. What? I already it was already written here for me. So that just proves that this definitely works. The third thing that should have really been included in the first tutorial, but it wasn't, is how to export and re-import a MIDI into FL if you are still using the demo, which I've actually switched. I no longer use the demo. I now use the producer version, I think. I don't know. It's the one that I got. I'm not saying how. So basically what you do is you can open a MIDI. You can open a MIDI and just paste like that. All lovely and and you don't even have to right click and go piano roll. There's even a lazier way of doing it, and you just click on the what did I just do? You just click on the thing, and it pops the piano roll right up. I also found out that I had my grid set up incorrectly the first time round. That probably confused and frustrated a few people. I'm sorry. I thought I was doing it right at the time, but what you actually need to do is when you first open FL Studio, it probably isn't set like this, but you need to click on this button on the piano roll, the one in the top left corner, go to snap, and then go to half step. This changes the grid from let me just show you. Okay, this is at half step, and if you change it to step, you've got half as many spaces to put the MIDI down, which means chances are some of it's wrong. Yeah, you just want to go to snap and then half step, and that will set your grid up correctly and make your USTs so much better when it comes to timing, because since I think the first time I discovered the half step button was during the a lion stuffed animal UST, and that one was probably the one that doesn't have any timing errors in at all. Before that, I'd be a bit careful when using my USTs. I'm gonna go back and correct them all. I'm sorry. I tried. This is coming from someone who has no musical knowledge at all. People like Austin and Cream have been such sweeties and helped so much. So yeah, that's how you fix the piano roll. Where was I? Oh yeah, exporting. You can't just go file and then go export and then export the MIDI. Let me just replace this one. That was from a previous tutorial attempt that didn't load save correctly. Doing it like this won't work. Your MIDI will be blank, and then you'll close FL and start crying because you've lost hours of work. Trust me, it's happened to me so many times. You need to go to, first of all, you need to go to Tools, then you need to go to Macros, or Macros, however you guys say it, and go to Prepare for MIDI Export, and then click that. And then that's it, so now it will actually export the MIDI correctly. And yeah, you need to make sure to do that, otherwise you will get upset when you have a blank MIDI. The save function, I seriously recommend getting the full version of FL. The save function makes your life so much easier, trust me. Yep, so you see I had that little, do you want to save changes? That was lovely. Another thing I wanted to share with you guys is this program that I found thanks to Cheese. He's such a sweetie, and this one, it really helps. It's a program called Utagoe. I'll have the link in the description. It's an a cappella maker. It removes the karaoke from the original song, and it just makes things so much easier when it comes to fixing things up in Utao, and it's lovely, trust me. All you need is the original and the karaoke. They've got to be the official versions. They can't just be like, yeah, and you've got to have them timed up correctly. Otherwise, you'll get background noise in your a cappella, and it'll sound rather demonic. Is the only way I can describe it. Really, just demonic. You just what? Okay, that one's vocals. Import them. Import these both. This is where the original goes, the karaoke goes, and this is what you name the a cappella. That's probably incorrect. Is it 2Ps? 2P? That look a cappella. A cappella. And you put a .wav at the end of that, otherwise it'll just come up with a blank file. You can just change it later on, but much easier if you just put it in here. And click this button. I don't know what any of these buttons do. I know that's close, obviously, and that's probably like, no, I have no idea. And you just wait for this to done, and then you've got your a cappella, which is useful when timing and fixing everything up. Okay, so with the new version of Utao, it becomes a lot easier when it comes to importing MIDIs. You've got less chances of it being off time. The actual MIDI itself, of course, the easy fix for that is just to re-import the MIDI and it should fix itself. Let me just open a UST. This one. Now Utao seems to recognize that when you import a MIDI, this is a rest. Like before, it would just make it the same note as the one before that. Like, yeah, it would be a B, and it would be a really long B that you'd have to go in and change to a rest. And now it just does it automatically, and I love Utao for it because it makes UST making a lot simpler. You don't have to go back and check your MIDI to where the spaces are. That saves me about, I don't know, a good hour. So that makes things a lot easier. When correcting mistakes in Utao, because you never get a perfect MIDI unless you work ridiculously hard on it, and even then it's probably some lyrical errors, like lengthwise. When it comes to exporting, don't like just think that you can just, there's a tiny bit off, let's shift it over here and add it to this one. That will make things off time really badly, trust me. I would know from horrible experiences. If you're ever gonna correct something up, first of all, don't just try one, try two, okay? Like normally I just go for one, but two, thanks to Austin, told me basically that having it like this, there's a much more chance that now this section will be correct instead of if I just, or like if I changed it to like here and then stretched out this note. There's much more chance that it's correct because it fits more correctly with the musical stuff. I'm sorry, I'm blanking. But basically, yeah, that just saves a whole lot of grief if you try it by two first. And yeah, okay. So that's pretty much everything timing-wise that I can think of that I can correct with. Basically just spend a little bit longer on your USTs to try and get the timing correct. The timing is key. Like okay, yes, I knew it was important. I didn't think it was like godly important. It really is. Stressing out so much because that's the one thing people really pick up on. Okay. I'll try going a bit more about harmonies too. I'm still really bad at them. Like I can make them now. Before I couldn't really make them unless the Audacity trick worked. But now I can do them without the Audacity trick. In fact, I don't think I've checked the Audacity trick in a while. But basically apparently there's this glorious thing called key in music. Like I knew it existed, but I had no idea what it did. And I've found out what it does now. Basically, Austin was such a sweetie and explained it all to me. And, well, kind of. And I know enough now. Sort of, not really. But basically, first of all, you go through, after you've made the main of your MIDI, and figure out what notes are in the song. Like, let me just load this one, Black Executor. And I will show you an example and try and explain what I'm doing here. Basically, what I've done is read up a bit more about harmonies, and Utao Reizo, Cream, she has this technique that, well, it's actually two techniques that I've merged into one. Basically what you do is, she suggested to either make a MIDI and work from, and re-import it into Utao and reinsert the lyrics, or just go straight to Utao. What I like to do is I like to make a MIDI in FL and then use that as a reference for adjusting the main for the harmonies, like making a copy of the main, blanking out the parts where it doesn't have the, like, see, this is actually all song too. People are singing in this bit and I've just blanked it all out, and that's what you do with Utao as well. But basically, when it comes to making harmonies, first of all, there isn't just one way of doing it. There's several ways. So don't worry about, oh god, it's not exactly how it should be, because it's a form of customization. As long as it doesn't sound off, or I'd call it demonic personally, like it clashes and it hurts the ear and it doesn't sound nice. Basically, as long as it sounds nice, you're good. And harmonies can go to different places in the song too. It doesn't have to completely match up with the original, even though I would recommend it, because the original tends to, like, be good. Yeah. I found out, yeah, a little bit more about key. Not everything. I'm still really confused with it, and I'm gonna find out more and then probably revisit this tutorial. I really hope not, because there's at some point I need to think, no, I'm gonna do one tutorial that covers everything, not just decide to update the tutorials like I'm doing now. No low disk space, no. Basically what you do is you just figure out all the notes that were used in the main of the song. Like, if you have to go through an entire, just go through and write, okay, there's a note on G sharp and there's a note on B, there's a note. Write these down, and I did that with this song, and I discovered that it's in the E key. I'm probably saying that wrong, there's a proper term for it. It's just, it matches up with the one that says E. And, basically all these notes are in the song. And turns out all the notes harmonize with all the other notes if it's like if it's like 3 or something down. Like, of course, E is in the E scale thing, key. So, that's about 3 notes down. That harmonizes. There's a G sharp in the song, and it harmonizes with the B harmonizes with, yeah. It basically, it helps with harmonies a lot to know the key of the song. And with here, there's a, both of these notes harmonize because there's both of these notes in the main. The green is the main, the pinky, orangey, yellow color is the harmonies that I've been putting down, and they so far sound pretty good, I think. Maybe not, this is my opinion of my stuff, so yeah. So I'd really look into key because it's helping me with harmonies a lot. Yeah, I think that's pretty much everything. Yeah. When it comes to, oh, that's right, a lot of people were saying that they were stuck for pitch and length. Those two things come with practice of making USTs. Pitch, apparently, like, a lot of people find that pitch is more detectable when you're using Vocaloid to make USTs or VSQs than turning them into USTs. I've never personally used Vocaloid to make my USTs, but it's something that you guys should try out because if it works for some people, it could work for you. Length, hopefully I've tried to fix that with the half step button because seriously, it can only be one of these lengths. That's what I found out. Yeah. That's, and don't be afraid to ask for help. I'm seriously, like, if you guys are stuck or are confused by what I'm saying, or just want practice or want confirmation that you're doing it right, feel free to ask me or anyone you think that can help you. Because I really want more people to make USTs because not only does it's like creating a satisfying, like a really high quality voice bank. It's really satisfying and it's fun to be the first Utao to sing a particular song. So yeah, I really look into it. I really hope this has helped. Hopefully it's made a bit more sense than my last tutorial. I'll have links to everything I've talked about and yeah, okay. Yeah, bye guys.